Hello, it's Ron back here from Ron's Tech RC and Camera channel, and today I have my favorite new gadget here, the little Fimi Palm camera from Fimi, makers of fine drones and now little bitty pocket size 4K cameras with 3-axis gimbal. And a lot of you may say, well, Ron, isn't that the Osmo Pocket you have there? It's not the Pocket. It's a camera similar to the Pocket, but also different. So we will get into it in this video. Basically, this video is an update video. The Fimi received a couple updates last week to the camera itself, the camera and the gimbal. And also there was an app update too, and I will cover all this in this video. At the end, we will give you a sample of some of the 4K 30 video that I shot recently. It wasn't the best day, it wasn't like this perfect sunny day. It's kind of a somewhat of an overcast day, but hope you still get something out of it. And with the updates, the big showstopper in the updates was the Fimi Palm had like kind of an odd frame rate thing. It either it was either 4K 30 or 4K 25 frames per second. As many of you know, the 25%, can't speak. The 25 frames per second is more of a European thing. In the US, we use 24 frames per second. So this update not added 24 frames per second amongst all the video you rates, your 4K, your 2.7K, your 1080p. None of them had 24 frames. They all had 25. So now they all have 24. I forget if they kept 25 on there too, but they all have 24 now. And also, what was kind of unusual, you don't see on many of these cameras, they offered a 48 frames per second option on many of the different shooting modes. So again, we're going to get into all that in the video. Just stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Okay, folks, here's the firmware update we're going to install today. We got a Palm gimbal. It optimizes the gimbal control and fixes bugs. Then we have the Palm camera at 24 and 48 frames rate in the video mode. Improve the dynamic bit rate in superfine 4K resolution to 100 M and fixes known bugs. So I'm not exactly sure what that one part meant about the fine bit rate or whatever, but we'll try to figure it out. So okay, now we're going to get into the now we're going to connect the Fimi Palm camera to the app here. So you have to go in, and under Wi-Fi you have to pick it's going to say Palm 98 CA 39. So you select that, and that'll you'll connect to the the Palm via the Wi-Fi. So here we have a live feed. We've already hit the the connect button, but that is our live feed, my messy desktop there. So we're going to kind of go through some of the features here. Here's the here's the gimbal and handle. So you could pick your axis, lock and flow there. You have a couple different choices along the top on how you want to set your gimbal up. You got your pitch lock. Well, nothing's working now because what we forgot to do is turn cellular off. Apparently, if you leave cellular on, the app won't respond to any of your touches. So you have to go in and turn your cellular off. Now, this is kind of weird. I found that once you turn it off, you can turn it back on again, and then it'll work, but you have to turn it off initially. So, okay, so now we're going to select our gimbal axis. So you got your main choices there, your gimbal lock, your follow, your FPV, and your pitch lock, and no particular order. Then you can change the speed about how smooth you want the axis to move. So that's good. You got your 5-way joystick on here, and you can change the rate of how fast you want that to react to touch, and you can do the V-touch off, single, or multiple. I'm not exactly sure what that means yet. Still working on a lot of these settings. Here you can, you can adjust your gimbal if you don't think your gimbal is properly straight. The horizon's straight, so I didn't even do anything here, but it kind of recalibrate itself on its own here, and it's also a button there to do an auto calibration, but it kind of did it just even though I didn't even do any adjustments, just backing out of there, it did it automatically. So okay, here's your advanced setting. Now the strange thing is, even though we've added 24 to 48 frames per second to these settings, it doesn't appear in the app now, but on the camera itself, if you look in the the touchscreen, those 24 and 48 frames per second rates are in there. So Fimi has a little bit of work to do in the app here that the app can't see those new frame rates. Okay, so here's some of your video settings. You got your EV, you got your picture quality, super fine and fine. Color, you got F-Log, and then you have a natural. I've been using F-Log, and the video you're going to see later on is in an F-Log. And your video output, I don't know, you just leave it NTSC if you're in the US. And the codec, you can go from the higher one or the older 264-bit, and the grid lines, you have regular grid lines, or you can have the diagonals put in there also. So moving over here, the settings. Here's your Wi-Fi stuff. There's how you update there, but there's no update to do right now, and it shows the current updates we have for the camera right now, the numbers. So there's your model number and so on for the device. I couldn't read those numbers all quick enough, but I'm going to put them on the screen here. Okay, now at the bottom here, you can pick your iOS settings. You can go auto, or you can go full manual up to 3200 from 100. So, it's pretty reasonable for most settings. This isn't going to be a super high thing like you're going to be able to set to 128 or anything. Here's your white balance here. So auto incandescent is what we kind of want now. The rest of them aren't going to look good inside, but auto, as you can see, let me watch when I go back to auto here. It picked the right one. It knew it should have been an incandescent, and it picked it. So that's a good thing. And now you can use these little dots on either side of the screen to move the gimbal side to side or up and down, as you can judge by the arrows there. And it moves pretty quickly. As you can see, it's almost too quickly there. You can change your gimbal settings real slow so you don't get that rapid back and forth or that rapid up and down. I got it set a little bit too high. I should make that a slower, more smoother setting. But it works. So that's nice. Yeah, it works real nice. You don't get, I heard people talk about lag, but I haven't seen a whole lot of lag in using the app. I mean, I have it, just within, less than a foot away from the device, but I didn't see much lag. Okay, so here you can go over here, you can pick your modes on the side here. That's the one thing, it gets rid of the curve of the lens. You can turn your mic on off. There's the pro video setting, which I'm not kind of sure what that is. It's probably that, along with that super fine thing in there, but not exactly sure what that means. So you could flip the camera to face you or face away. Now that's the first time I have seen a little lag there. It definitely lagged in moving the gimbal back and forth. Okay, we're on the right side of the screen there. We're in the video settings, and then we're looking. This is where you look at your recorded video if you want to look at your recorded videos on the app. That was the bottom picture box there. So okay, now we're going to change the photo settings here, and that one now you have an HDR setting at the top you didn't have before. So somehow it undid our white balance and changed it to sunny, which of course totally messed the screen up. Now here's your panoramic feature, which I don't believe you can do from the for the phone. I think you have to take those from the palm itself. But I'm trying to get the white balance correct here after it threw me off. So again, there's photo, back to panoramic. And it looks like we can do the panoramic here. It was grayed out before. Maybe that's a fix. Here's your video. There's your slow motion. Now here's your time lapse. Eventually this will go to a gray screen here. You can't do time lapse from the app. You have to actually do it, in the camera itself. So yeah. So we'll jump around here. Check panoramic again. Somehow our iOS or something got messed up here, and we're too dark now. Okay, there we go. Panoramic. Well, maybe you can. You said it used to be you couldn't do panoramic from the app. Now maybe you can. So that would be a a nice update if so be. Okay, at this point I'm on a little walk here. I got the camera settings on 4K 30 frames per second, and kind of everything else on mostly auto, but I am shooting on F-Log. the kind of flat profile. So these clips have been edited in Final Cut Pro, mostly with the color wheels. Nothing dramatic, just trying to test out this lock feature. Is really any good to do editing, and it appears to be pretty good, really, actually, to get in there and mess around with it in an editor, which is a good thing, really. So okay, I'm going to stop talking here, put a little music here while you enjoy the clips.